Solve the following equation for y, given your answer in scientific notation or standard form. Notice that we have this particular equation and our goal is to solve for y. Here we have 1.1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 16, and all of this multiplied by y. Then we have minus 1.2 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 10 equals to 6.5 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 10. And remember, our goal is to solve this equation for y. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to send it over the equal sign. Now notice that it was negative, but when we send it over, it's going to be positive. And so we have 6.5 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 10 plus, so it's positive, 1.2 times 10 raised to the power of 10. Indeed, our goal is to isolate y, so we need to make sure that y is the only thing, is the only variable that is on the left-hand side. And so we're going to divide both sides of this equation by the coefficient of y, which is this number. So we divide both sides of this equation by 1.1 times 10 to the power of negative 16. Next, we cancel out this with this. And so we are left with y is equal to 6.5 times 10 raised to the power of 10 plus 1.2 times 10 raised to the power of 10, all divided by 1.1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 16. Now our goal is to simplify this particular expression on the right-hand side because they want us to give our answer in scientific notation. And so let's do that. Notice that 10 raised to the power of 10 is in this term. So 10 raised to the power of 10 is in this term. And 10 raised to the power of 10 is also in this term, which means that 10 raised to the power of 10 is a common factor of these two terms. And so we're going to factor out 10 raised to the power of 10, and we are left with 6.5 plus 1.2. And that's because 10 raised to the power of 10 multiplied by 6.5 is, and that's because 10 raised to the power of 10 multiplied by 6.5 is this particular expression. And 10 raised to the power of 10 multiplied by 1.2 is this particular expression. So basically, this right here, the numerator, is the factored form of this particular expression on top. Next, we say, okay, we have 6.5 plus 1.2, and 6.5 plus 1.2, again, 6.5 plus 1.2 is definitely 7.7. And so we have 10 raised to the power of 10 multiplied by 7.7. Let's write that. 10 raised to the power of 10 multiplied by 7.7. And so we write it in this way. 7.7 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 10. And that's exactly what we have above. The only thing is that we switch it. We put the 7.7 on the left-hand side, and we put the 10 to the power of 10 on the right-hand side, and we place the multiplication symbol to show explicitly that we are multiplying. Next, notice that we have 7.7 multiplied by 10 to the power of 10, all divided by 1.1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 16. We divide our decimal numbers. So we have 7.7 divided by 1.1, and that gives us 7. Again, 7.7 divided by 1.1 is simply 7. But 10 raised to the power of 10 divided by 10 raised to the power of 16 is going to be equal to 10 raised to the power of 10 minus negative 7. Minus a negative 16. And that's because when we have two terms that have the same base and we are dividing the powers, when we have two terms that have the same base, so in this case, these two terms have base 10. Whenever we have two terms that have the same base and we are dividing them, we have to subtract the powers. And so we have 10 minus negative 16. So we have to subtract the powers. Now, what is negative times a negative? Well, a negative times a negative is a positive. And so we have 10 plus 16. And so what we have is 10 plus 16 is 26. And so that means that y is equal to 7 times 10 to the power of 26. And this is our answer expressed in scientific notation or standard form.